those first responders started giving acupuncture and they were sleeping. They were sleeping through the night. And if you calm that
Wow.
body's nervous system, it is able to start processing what it's going through, whether it's pain, whether it's trauma. And so after 9/11, then this treatment started being used globally.
Hi, and welcome to Civic Pulse, Politics and Everyday Life. And today we have a special guest and a very dear friend, Miss Katie Clifton, who is going to chat with us today about the Calm Clinic and Caravan. So, Katie, tell us a little bit about yourself and jump right into the Calm Clinic and Caravan. We're all ready to hear what you have to say.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to be here. And so the Calm Clinic and Caravan is a mobile acupuncture clinic. We travel around Southwest and Central Virginia, providing a treatment called the 5 needle protocol, mostly the 5 needle protocol. Um, to people who may not have access to acupuncture and other services. Mostly what we do are called wellness rodeos, where we partner with about 20 other organizations, and they don't all come at one time, but I'll send out an email at the beginning of the month and say, these are our stops. And then people can come, organizations can come. So when the clients come, it's all in one place. You could get diapers. We often partner with Chip of Roanoke Valley. You could get diapers. Maybe the health department is there doing vaccines or giving out sexual health supplies. Maybe we've done them with Virginia harm reduction. And we always provide acupuncture, but then people can, it's a one-stop shop in your neighborhood, is really
So, all
what it
other,
is.
yeah, sounds like a lot of different services all in one.
Yes, and which is
Do this.
wonderful. And it started in 2020. We started doing it in 2021 I had a private practice acupuncture clinic, but I was feeling frustrated that people were not having access to the medical care and the resources. Roanoke actually has so many wonderful resources, but it's not always easy to access them if you don't have transportation, if you have to ask for time off work. And so we just wanted to make it easy for people to get to get services. So I started it in 2021 with I had a lot of help. I had my office manager Mike really ran it while I ran the private practice. And then in 2024, I sold my private practice and now I solely run the wellness wagon. We also, I'm going to talk about the 5 needle protocol in a minute and where it came from, but we also go into private organizations like Roanoke College will have us come in and treat staff and students. Roanoke City has had us come in. The sheriff's
Nice.
office has had us. So we go in businesses, have us come in and treat their staff or their clients and staff. We believe everybody should get on the bus.
So, when you're going to the sheriff's office and to the city, you're doing this 5 points, which you will explain later.
Yeah.
But what are they receiving it for? Is it for stress or is it for just anxiety? Why would they want someone like a Calm Clinic to come in to the jail, for instance,
Yes,
or the
absolutely. Um, well, my goal, I would love to get in the jail and treat the inmates, but and this is a great time to actually talk about the history of the 5 needle protocol and explain the difference between full body acupuncture that you might receive in a private practice and the 5 needle protocol. So I'm a licensed acupuncturist. I went to school for 4 years postgraduate. So I have a graduate degree in acupuncture and I can treat the whole body. But there's also a treatment that was developed in the 70s um, in the Bronx that was really about helping people access holistic medicine to help them feel better. And it was started by the Black Panthers and the Young Lords in
wow.
response to the heroin epidemic in the 70s. They were so tired of just people in their neighborhoods dying and the neighborhoods crumbling, and they weren't seeing the healthcare system really deal with it well. Just social systems were not set up to deal with this. So a group of um, young lords and some physicians at a hospital in the Bronx and the Black Panthers came together. They took over this hospital called the Lincoln Detox Center. And while all of this is going on, the some of the young lords and the Black Panthers also became trained in acupuncture because they have learned that acupuncture is during this time in China, there was a movement called the Barefoot Doctors Movement. And this was modeled after that. The Barefoot Doctors Movement was physicians going into communities and doing acupuncture, but also, doing some Western, well, we call it Western, but doing, just antibiotics and, prescriptions, but also doing whole person healthcare with acupuncture as well. And so the
Wow.
Black Panthers and the Young Lords wanted to bring this back to the Bronx, and they did in the Lincoln Detox Center. And so, go ahead.
That
Do you have
that
a question?
no, I was gonna say that is really exciting because I was thinking, of course, we know that acupuncture is 2,000 years old. Of course, some people say it goes back 4,000 years,
Mhm.
but it really became prevalent here in the States with the Nixon administration in 1972. Is that correct?
That is correct. That is correct. And that was, and during that time, that also was the barefoot doctor revolution was kind of happening. Mao was trying to create this kind of healthcare that was more um, people centered. And he did that by sending training doctors in both this, both acupuncture and Western medicine and
Wow.
sending them out to communities. And so after it's used for just like detox, it was called acu detox is what it was called. It's 5 points in each ear. And it was called AcuDetox. And after that, during 9/11 in New York, again, practitioners of this AcuDetox treatment set up, they were in a center to help treat first responders. And so they had like a therapy. They were like, first responders could go get therapy, talk therapy, or they could go get acupuncture, nonverbal treatment for PTSD, is how it was advertised. And so there's a line out the door for acupuncture, nonverbal treatment for PTSD. And nobody really wanted to go in and talk about what they were experiencing. But those first responders started giving acupuncture and they were sleeping. They were sleeping through the night. And if you calm that
Wow.
body's nervous system, it is able to start processing what it's going through, whether it's pain, whether it's trauma. And so after 9/11, then this treatment started being used globally to treat all kinds of, um, in all kinds of situations.
Well, I did a little research on my own, Katie, and I found out that the WHO, the World Health Organization, has recommended acupuncture for 30 illnesses. And we're going to post that at the end of the podcast in a link so that people can see some of the recommendations for acupuncture. And also, I want to add that link of the documentary that
Yeah.
you invited us to see, Dope is Death. I'm going to also include that link where it talks about the Black Panthers and actually had real people, real conversations, real testimonies on how acupuncture helped them with their addiction. So I will make sure that we post that link at the end of the podcast. Well, you just jump right in. And so we talked about, I guess, the impetus for the Calm Clinic. Let's go on to how it works. How does this mobile clinic work?
Okay, that's also a great question. So, I talked about how I am an acupuncturist and went to school for 5 years. Well, to do the 5 needle protocol, you actually don't have to do that. And we're very lucky in Virginia that if you are using it for behavioral health issues, anyone can get trained in 5 needle protocol in Virginia because it's just five.
Anyone?
Anyone, you could get trained. My daughter got trained when she was 17. That's so she could work with me. Um, it is a very safe treatment. It's just 5 points in each ear. The training is you have to do 40 ears. You need to be supervised to do that. Our training, we do like 30 days of study. You have Google Classrooms, you learn about
Sure.
trauma informed care, you learn about the ear points, you learn the biology, physiology that goes along with this. And then you do a 3-day in-person training. And then after that, you have to get 40 ears. And then in Virginia, you were able to practice the 5 needle protocol. Because of that, we can have people on the bus perform that 5 needle protocol, and they don't need to go to school for 4 years. So that has made it
For 4 years, not
very,
to do that.
yes, not to do that. You just do your 5 needle protocol training. And that has made it be even more accessible, which was the point for this is a medicine for the people, by the people. And so for the wellness wagon, I talked a little bit about the wellness rodeos. So those are events we go to Newcastle once a month on Wednesdays, the third Wednesday of the month. We go to we used to go to Bedford. We're looking for a new place in Bedford, but we go to the Rescue Mission on the fourth Wednesday of the month, and we go to Melrose Library on the second Wednesday of the month. And we have a calendar online so people can check those out. And when we're there, we don't just treat people coming to receive the services. We treat, or if you're coming to sign up for CHIP, but the staff members, we also treat them because their lives are giving, giving, giving. So we also treat them. And then again, we have organizations that reach out to us and they hire us to come in and treat their staff or their customers, whoever. We are always like, it's everybody on the bus. And that means that a typical time on a bus, there
And
may be
here's a picture of Katie's bus. We're going to show you a picture of
Good.
Katie's bus.
It's beautiful. Her name is Sue.
Yes, Sue. Sue the bus.
Named after Sue Nussbaum, who helped me get her started.
It's an awesome bus. I've been in there, but I haven't gotten the 5 points there. I got it actually at your house at a meeting, but I certainly encourage everyone to do it. That's really awesome, Katie. And now you're moving on to the future. The bus has served you well. The rodeo is going well, but I understand you have another vision and you're looking at brick and mortar.
Yes. And so there's a concept that of acupuncture, like most of us imagine acupuncture, you go in, you see an acupuncturist that's one-on-one, and you're going to end up paying out of pocket $80 to $100 for that treatment. And then you need to get multiple treatments, not need to always, but a lot of times, because
Sure.
what you're trying to do is retrain the body, work with the nervous system, work with the body to help kind of train it to behave in a different way. That's what acupuncture does in the most basic sense. And but what we want to do is open what's called a community clinic where people can come get 5NP multiple times a week. And that also the 5 needle protocol, 5NP, but also where people can get full body acupuncture treatments for reduced price. And in this situation, it's a community. So you come in, there's a room of chairs, you have a seat in the chair, an acupuncturist will be there, a licensed acupuncturist who's gone to school for 4 years, they'll be there. They will actually diagnose, and come up with a treatment plan for you. And then you get a treatment, and it's going to be sliding scale. So a little more affordable than maybe that one-on-one private practice.
Let's back up for just a little bit, Katie.
Yeah.
So they will be diagnosed. So how do they do that, and what are they looking for in order to determine what method of acupuncture should be used? So just a brief overview of the diagnosis.
Yes, absolutely. So when you go into an acupuncturist, they listen to what you say, your chief complaint. You're saying, oh, my back hurts. And maybe you might throw in some other things. My sinuses hurt, my back hurts. I haven't been sleeping well. So you talk to your acupuncturist about that. And then they will do either acupuncturists also diagnose using pulse diagnosis, where they feel your pulses in your wrists. Wow. And they use tongue diagnosis, and they look at your tongue and see what's going on in your body. And then they take what you say, they take your pulses, they look at your tongue, and they come up with a treatment plan that is whole person centered. And so while you're in there for your back pain, you might get your allergies treated, worked on as well. And so when they acupuncturists are not going to diagnose you and say, you have cancer, you have
Right, right, right.
you have ringworm, well, they might be able to say you have ringworm because you can see it, but what they're doing is looking at it in an energetic East Asian way. So the language is very different. So they may say something like, oh, you have liver qi stagnation. And to an acupuncturist, that makes perfect sense. And but they're treating your body like a machine that something has gotten stuck in a cog and it is not working correctly. So they are trying to remove that so your body acts more efficiently.
Well, I know we have made huge inroads as far as acupuncture and, people being receptive to it, et cetera, et cetera. I saw also they're looking at studies for schizophrenia, different kidney disease, liver disease, all kinds of things. Of course, it has not been, I guess, approved by yeah, who would approve that? I don't know, the FDA or whatever, but it hasn't been approved, but there are a lot of trials and a lot of studies that are being done that have been very promising. So it is exciting what you're doing. I think you're at the cusp of something amazing for us. I wish that insurance would pay for it. Do you know that or think that at some point the insurance will cover at least a portion of acupuncture if it's diagnosed that you need it?
Yes. Well, it doesn't, there are a lot of studies. I mean, acupuncture is an evidence-based medicine, and there are a lot of studies that support that. And so because it's not like a drug and we don't use any kind of drugs, it doesn't need to go before the FDA, but you can look up lots of supporting studies, which I'll send a recent white paper to you. But anyway, the point is, right now in Virginia, we are very lucky. I'm a part of the State Acupuncture Society, the Acupuncture Society of Virginia, and we went before the General Assembly last year and asked that it be sent before the HERC committee, which will review whether Virginia and insurance companies deem that it's a reasonable thing to be covered by insurance. So the way to make that happen is to let your legislators know that you want access to acupuncture and you want your insurance company to pay for it. That right now, some insurances pay for it, but the reimbursement rate is terrible. and
Well,
but the VA also pays for it.
the VA does. So
Yes.
so for veteran clients, we need to make sure that veterans know that acupuncture is available because
Yes.
I know for a fact that it will treat stress. And
Yes.
a lot of our veterans still deal with certain amounts of stress or PTSD. So
Yeah.
we need to make sure that they know that it's available to them.
Yes.
And so you're in a place where you can accept insurance, or you're waiting for your brick and mortar before you will start taking insurance clients, et cetera?
That's a good question. We will probably not take insurance because that's why we do the sliding scale. We will try to keep the sliding scale about the price of a copay. Taking insurance involves so much paperwork and it would be inefficient for us to accept acupuncture because the amount of cost that it would cost us to do it would drive our costs up. So we're hoping to keep costs low by doing the community style. And that's how we keep it affordable, but also don't have to deal with the headache of insurance.
I understand completely.
Yes,
I
I'm
understand
sure
totally.
you
Just like,
know.
yeah, I don't take Medicaid, unfortunately, because of the reimbursement rates, and it
Yes,
is a lot of work. So I understand
yeah.
completely. So what can our listeners do right now to support the Calm Clinic and Caravan, as far as your mission and how you want your vision to move forward? What can our listeners do to help you with that?
We are, well, I would love for everybody to come get a treatment. If you see our
First,
bus,
first of all,
yes,
get a
come get one.
treatment.
Come get one. Everybody's welcome on the bus. Come to the Melrose Library. come to the rescue mission, come see me in Newcastle, or we'll be at events like the Not Your Average Festival. You'll see us at different events around town. So if you see the
And you'll
bus,
be at the 8th annual fish fry that Trish
yes,
hosts
yes,
in
we will.
August.
That is right. We
August
will.
30th, the bus will be there. It'll be so fun.
It will be so fun, and you can come get a treatment. And if it is not free, if it at our wellness rodeos, the treatments are free. Sometimes we do a donation based, so you can always
Sure.
donate when we're there. And then we also have a Zeffy crowdfunding campaign, and we are to raise money so that we can open this community clinic, so everybody can come in and get this treatment. That is, as an acupuncturist, my friends and I, and my acupuncturist and I, we laugh about this. It's, that you are not doing magic. You know that you are doing a medicine that is based in science, that it is physiology, biology. You know it. But when you perform acupuncture, many times you feel like you are performing magic because it's such a beautiful medicine and a beautiful way to treat the body.
I can tell that you're enthused about all of this, and
I
I
love it.
understand why, because you're actually helping people.
Mhm.
In my business, everybody knows or may not know that I do home care, and you don't make millions of
Yeah.
dollars. In fact, I make very little at all, but I still come in every day. I still feel good about what I do because I know that I am providing a valuable service to our seniors. And some of them couldn't get out of bed, without our aides there to help them. I
Yes.
know you feel the same way about acupuncture because you know the benefits of it and you know how many people it has helped and how many people it can help. And so I see your glow and your enthusiasm. So I certainly want to do everything that I can to help promote it, to help, the stigmatism behind it. People might be afraid of it. It's needles. So people are afraid of needles. You can't even tell they're going in to your ear or your
Yeah.
body. I've had the full body. You've
Yeah.
done it.
Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
done my full body, and you've done my husband's full body. You don't even know that they're going in there. In fact, you sometimes you forget, that they're there.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about what you're doing. I'm excited about the Calm Clinic and the Caravan. I'm even more excited about your brick and mortar.
Yeah.
Is there anything else, Katie, that you would love for our audience to hear? Because this is an amazing thing, and I'm so excited for you and for us in this community.
Yes, me too. I'm excited for everybody too. I just encourage people to give it a try. If they're in and people often say, I'm scared, I'm too scared to try. And that would be weird if you weren't scared. It's okay if you've never had acupuncture and you are a little scared. It's okay. Come see what happens on the bus. Come, see what we're doing, and maybe you'll decide that you want to give it a try. So I mean, I think that's my biggest thing is just come see what we're doing. You don't have to get acupuncture, but I think eventually you probably will once you see how wonderful it is.
Bottom line, just give it a try.
Yes. Yes, yes. Yep.
Well, unless there's something else that you can add, you've packed it all in, and I appreciate you coming in and joining us. And we will put those links in the podcast so that you can go to Katie's website and follow her journey and look for that brick and mortar. But until the brick and mortar, definitely jump on the bus. Find Sue wherever she is. Sue the bus. Jump on Sue and get at least the 5 points in the ear to see what difference it can make. Thanks again, and thank you all for listening. Until our next one, love, live, and laugh.